Yeah, please let me know.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Give us a shout when you guys are all set at the back, please.
Already, all good.
Yep. Good. Right, Paddy.
No, it's nice to see you. Long time no see. Liam Gibbs, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we need a scan today, and it will be here in the afternoon. But it is an injury, just like what he had here last time. So unfortunately, I think we're looking at same amount of weeks. So up to 10, but hopefully before that. But yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, terrible for the lad, terrible for you as well, I'm sure. And just to clarify, it is the same issue that he had before. So
yeah, it is. We need a scan to be 100% clear, and to see how severe it is. But just looking at his reaction and seeing him in today, then no, it doesn't look good. Unfortunately, that's like I also said Tuesday night, it's mostly for him. But
and you could see. I think he's subsequently gone on social media and said how heartbreaking it is to have worked so hard to get back. And, he looked very emotional on the pitch as well. It's going to be to get through the mental side of it is the first part, isn't it? Before the physical.
Yeah, I think it is, and we look into how we can support him, because it's never easy with these injuries where you're out for more than just a couple of weeks, and especially to have one just straight after coming back again. So that's a tough one. If someone can handle, then it's him, because he's a great person. And I was looking forward to have him in the team again, and we were just about to get started with him, which is, I think it's important for him and the club, and I think he's valuable for us and for the club. So the only thing I can guarantee and say to him is that he will still be valuable for us, and now it's just for us to wait a little bit more. But we get back to work the second he's ready again.
I think it's maybe be dependent on the scan outcomes, but could it be the fact it's the second time now? Would it have to be surgical route? Do you think this time around?
Yeah, I think they have to wait and see, and there's better experts than me to sort that out. But of course, they will look into it and see what they can do.
In terms of the other guys, midweek, no issues there fitness-wise going into Saturday. So
no, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so Barnsley got himself back on the pitch, and no reaction from that.
No, it was good, and also the plan with him that we put him on in games, and he will build up some match fitness also in games. It's important for us that we have a player that we can put on up front to hold the balls, control them for us, to be a good link player. So the plan for him is that we nice and easy build it up so it can be more and more and more.
I don't want to, because we spent a lot of time talking about Ante before the game, and he obviously stepped up and got that all important goal. But just from that dimension, to have Barnes back in there, a player who knows what it's all about in terms of the striker role, knows what it's about in the Championship, the striker role. I'd imagine that was something that maybe Ante can look to now, and almost a bit of a mentoring role from Ashley. Is that something you like to sort of encourage?
Yeah, definitely. And actually, with Barnes, you don't have to do much, because he's doing it himself, and he's great out there on the pitch with the other ones, and supporting and really a good teammate. So it's just natural, and it will happen. But it will be good for Ante, because it also means that we don't have to play him 90 minutes every time. And I think it's been a lot for him, and there's been a lot of minutes, and it was not something we planned that he should be just playing more or less all the minutes for us here to begin with. It is sometimes important for a young player to have just to play 60 minutes and don't go all out every time, and be a little bit more fresh, both in your legs but also in your head the days after. So it's been a lot of match minutes for him, and then restricted training load, where what he needs also is to be more available in training for us, and that also gives us now the opportunity when Barnsley is back. So there's so many upsides about having more players available.
Yeah. Still the plan, Nunes available for this weekend?
Yeah.
So he's had a good week now, good week of team training.
Yeah,
smile on his face.
Yeah, he was electric when he was out there the first day, and he's running around. We just have to be very, very careful with him, because I think if we asked him now, he will be able to play 90 minutes on Saturday. So, but he will be in, and it's just good to have him back in the group.
But on that point, without wanting to sort of push you, I mean, would it be too ambitious to start him again at this stage, or could he physically, you think, handle that now?
I think it would be too ambitious because, like I said, I don't think we should do anything that is too risky. We need to nice and easy build him in again, and for him to find his way into the team again. Because again, of course, it's an important one on Saturday, but it's also an important one the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that, and we need to make sure that we have as many players available for the Christmas period as possible.
Cordova still the plan, QPR? How are we doing with it?
Yeah, QPR is the plan. I think there's a small chance that maybe Saturday, but then not as a starter, but maybe just to be a part of the squad. We're gonna see how he looks tomorrow, because it's actually a little bit better than expected, and I think it's definitely he's gonna be ready for the Saturday QPR.
That's good news. Yeah. In terms of fullbacks wise now, maybe conversely, Kellen's back available. Jack probably carried on in the same vein midweek as he did at West Brom. A very important role in some of those goals.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your thoughts on that. How do you think Ben Griseni took his chance?
It was good. I think it was good to see. I don't think he was tested the same way as Jack was, especially in the first one against West Brom. But then you still have to do your job, and I think definitely he did. I think he looked solid. I think he looked comfortable playing with the teammates again. So again, another good response from a player that haven't played a lot throughout the previous months. So exactly what we need actually.
Exactly. Yeah, the fact that you've got those options, and within it always feels, having now seen enough of your games, that those fullback areas, you've seen Fisher with the inverted sort of demands you placed on him, but obviously Stacey more of a overlapping attacking fullback. That fullback area is quite key, isn't it, to how you want to progress the ball?
It is, and it is. First and foremost, they need to be very comfortable on the ball, all of them. And I think actually Jack have taken some steps in his, especially game reading. I think he's good now and in seeing when to step in and when to stay out wide and when to join the attacking phase and when to stay a little bit lower in his positioning. I think definitely have taken some steps, and I think he also showed that Tuesday night, and especially is it the fourth goal where he makes a good move from the outside, stepping into the space that becomes open, which is something we didn't see from him in the beginning of the season. So really, really good. But first and foremost, they have to be comfortable on the ball. They have to be calm. They have to be technically on a good level, because they have to be able to deal with situations where they are under pressure, and we have to find the right solution. So then, of course, opportunities in terms of the attacking shape for us, where there is some differences between them, but it's just good for the group. And I think also as an individual player that there is competition. I don't think you will ever become the best player that you can be if you just expect that you will play every Saturday. I think you need to be able to do your best and to compete.
Probably flew a little bit under the radar actually, but Brad Hills came on there towards the end. That was his league debut for the club.
Yeah.
And he's a player who's obviously had these issues with his lower back.
Yeah.
Just delight for him to get him back in the group and actually get him some minutes on the pitch. Yeah,
and it's a big night for him. Of course, a local boy, so it means a lot for him to be around. And yeah, I think also for him we build it up nice and easy, and good things will take time. But for him just to have a feel for what it is and what it is to play in the championship and to get in there and be a part of the team, I think it means a lot to him.
I appreciate it's clearly not on your top of your priority list at the moment, but with him in terms of game minutes and his development, do you think you'll have a situation you have to weigh up in January? Is it better keeping him in and around the group? Pretty similar to maybe what you had in the summer.
Yeah.
You let him go out and did
and it is a tricky question for us, and something where we actually quite often discuss what is the right decision and solution. And I think it's very individual, and also I think it comes down to the player. If it's too difficult not to be around the team as much as you want and not to play every Saturday as every player wants to do, or some players can actually see, okay, it benefits if I just stay here and then learn how we do things, and then hopefully in the future can be around the team. But it's very individual. So definitely we will sit down with him, I think middle of December, maybe end of December, and find the best solution. I will not hide that I actually prefer that he stays, because the way that we play is still different to many other clubs, and the level of training out here, and he will be dealing with some of the best strikers in the league. You know, when Ante is becoming a good player for us, when Josh is back, when Borja is in there, when all these guys up front, he's training with them every day and against them every day, which is just also a part of a development as a player. So it's not only Saturday. That's at least not how I see it. I know it's important, but it's not everything. And end of the day, it's a decision and conversation we need to have at some point.
Just as a footnote as well, Kaidon Gordon, would he kind of, in terms of you'll need to make a decision on him, I think it's safe to say for all parties, he probably would have come in and Liverpool maybe sent him over here hoping he'd play a little bit more football.
Yeah.
Clearly hasn't happened yet. I mean, is that something you might need to revisit later in the year?
Yeah, well, I would say as long as he keeps having a good impact on the group in terms of training level and also his personality. If he starts to be too frustrated about the whole situation, that of course is something we need to look at. But he's eager to learn, and I know he had a meeting with Glenn the other night just to go through a lot of his situations and also his physical stats and a lot of those things in the game that we need from him to be even better, for him to have more minutes, and he's eager to learn, and he approached the coaches when he wants feedback, and he wants that. So as long as that's the mindset for him, then there's space for him in the group. Then we can definitely keep on working with him. And as I said with Callum also, even though it's a lone player, we treat him like he's one of ours. So it's not like we prioritize some of the others more than him. No, if he's engaging with things that we do and his mindset is open towards learning, then we definitely will spend all the time possible. So it is an area of the game where I think we have struggled a little bit to find the right player for that position. I think now that the last two games with Jack on the more offensive position on the outside has given us more chance creation from the right side, where I think to begin with in the season it was mostly from the left side, where we need to open up for the right side as well. So I don't think we're there yet, and I think still we have to work on some movements and players and how they work together to find the best what do you call it, the combination for us up front. But at the moment still some work for us to be done.
Just a footnote on Plymouth. I mean, I'm kind of interested, it's not meant to be flippant, but can you actually stand there in front of your technical area and enjoy watching your team? No. Because you're just so in the moment.
Yeah, never. Never, because there's so many things, and I still hate myself for that. Was it the whole game, I think, where we are 4-0 up and it's minute 90 something, and Kenny gets a booking for making a foul where it's nowhere needed in that moment. And I think because the players are in there and the adrenaline is going, so they cannot always think about those moments and situations. But as coach, you have to be hands-on with every situation. And now, of course, he's been out for us some games, and he's on 4 bookings and can be out again with another one. And it's these small details in games where you just have to be on top. We cannot switch off for just seconds. And also in this league, I was not only positive in the meeting today with the boys, even though the result was good, but I think the performance was not top in all areas of the game. And I think we had some sloppy moments out there where it also comes back to me as a coach, where we need to support them. We need to be sometimes even screaming and shouting to make sure that we have as few moments of as them as possible, because it can change everything. And just imagine that Kenny has received a booking at the end of the game, or Callum the same, then the Saturday game will be different for us. So there's no time to enjoy, unfortunately.
Just leave that to the fans to enjoy. But, so, having said that, I mean, you said it wasn't the perfect performance, but two of the areas you've highlighted recently after West Brom about that vulnerability when you score and the volume of goals you've been conceding these last 6 or 7 games, that clearly wasn't the case midweek. So that's another positive step in the overall picture. It
is. I think what we took away from the West Brom match was that the chance creation was really, really on a great level. We created so many dangerous moments, and beside the 2 goals we scored, could have scored more. Of course, I know it was an open game, and they also had their chances, to be fair. But it's just positive. I think the worst place to be at as a team is that you cannot really see where the goals will come from. But here in this team, you can see. I had the feeling the other night that every time we were about to attack, we could score a goal. and that's a great feeling to have, and that gives confidence to the group and to the players as well. So that I'm pleased about. But there's still moments and in the game, and it's not to be disrespectful towards Plymouth at all. But I'll just say, if we play against some of the top teams in the league, they will punish us in the moments where we are too sloppy on the ball, or we play a little bit too short and too tight instead of switching the play often enough. And also the goal we give away just before halftime, we should never allow something like that to happen. So there's always moments, and that's why I say the way that we work is we keep the emotions on a level like this, where even though we win, there's always things to look at, and we cannot close our eyes for that just because of the result.
Sort of zooming out a touch, sort of your thoughts generally, because the Championship now 16, 17 games is starting to settle down. Now clearly, I'm sure you did your homework not just on this club but the league that you potentially were going to come into. But with that body of work behind you now, is there anything that, surprise is probably not the right word, but maybe that you wasn't expecting, that you maybe had to prioritise a little bit in how you've approached the job?
Yeah, I think what surprised me the most was how open the games can be and how quickly the games can open up. I think the biggest difference is that when you have a lead against the Hull game, for example, where we're up with 2, then what I come from in the Danish league, you will see an opposition where they sit back and they defend spaces and they're tight and they're really, really compact, and the game will be slow. But here it's completely opposite. The game actually opens even more up when you start to score goals, and it opens more up. And that gives us some moments also in the game where it can be difficult to control, because the players can be spread all over the pitch, and that's the tricky moments in a game, because then there's a lot of space starts to open up on the pitch, and that's something we struggle with a little bit, to still keep the control in games when they start to be open, and that's also where most games are decided, in those moments, and it's something that actually surprised me a little bit. Otherwise, I think expected before we start a lot of what we see at the moment, that when we could start to train well enough and we could implement the way that we want to play, and we could have the players getting an understanding of how we want to do things, then it will just be a matter of time before we can start to play on a high level, but also knowing that it's a young group and it's still a new way of playing. So there will be games where we don't perform on a higher level, but that's expected. So next step for us is consistency.
Interesting, you mentioned Hull there. I think them and obviously Tim Walter parted company this week. I think that's, off the top of my head, that's about 5 or 6 coaches who started the season in this league are no longer in post. Does that maybe just reinforce that you're in an environment here where that alignment is in place from the top to the bottom? It gives you a chance to build something.
Yeah, I would say end of the day as a coach, and it's no matter where you are, you have no idea of that. You have no control. So it's never thoughts that I have. I just focus on what can I do. I don't feel. I'm not particularly happy when I see news like that, because I think it's early in a season after I don't know how many games we have played, 17, something like that. I think it's early, and I hope for clubs to be more patient in moments like that, and to build an even more clear strategy and believe and trust in each other, because I think that's the only way going forward. But end of the day, I cannot really think too much about it, because it's not in my hands. It's not something I can control. But I try to surround myself with people that I really want to work with. I really want to spend a lot of hours with, and I think there's a lot of people in this club where that's the feeling that they give me, and that's the feeling they give all the others that are here. And I think it's a well-driven club, and there's a lot of thought process behind more or less every decision. And I think that gives you as a coach some trust and also confidence to work even harder.
A few obviously on Luton, you look at the results from afar and they're a little bit up and down. Is that not unexpected? A team who comes out of the Premier League, Norwich obviously experienced it last season, and that struggled to adapt. Maybe the psychology from the players of, we were playing Man United this last season. Yeah. Now it's no disrespect, but it is a different environment.
No, it's Norwich you were about to say?
Not at all. I'll say Coventry. But can you see that in their results maybe from afar? Obviously you don't know under the bonnet what's going on there, but maybe when you come out of the Premier League it is tough.
Yeah, and if you just are 5% off, then you get punished in this league. And I would say, we looked okay Tuesday night, and we scored some good goals. But you can just go back and watch Plymouth playing Friday night against Watford. It's a completely even game. So you have to be 100% when the game starts. You have to be switched on for all the minutes in the game, because otherwise you get punished. And if you just start the games with that attitude, okay, I can relax a little bit, we can take it easy, then no chance. And that's also what you see in the results out there. That's even a top team can drop points to a team in the bottom, and the positions in the table in the league can change like this. And it's tough business, and you really have to be switched on and focused in all the matches. Then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the name of the team or the name of the players. You have to be present.
What type of game do you expect Saturday? Where are their strengths? Where will your team have to be good?
Yeah, I'm a little bit unsure. We discussed it also today, because I didn't watch Champions League yesterday. I watched the Championship games instead. And there they were quite defensive in their approach and looked like they were really trying to control spaces and not try to open up too much. And that's of course a part of their approach. I have also seen them being a little bit more front-footed in their especially pressing game. Quite direct still when they're on the ball. So that's something we can expect, and we have to be really aligned, and when we step up and put pressure, that others cover space in behind us if we should not succeed in that duel. But I think we can expect when they press us that sometimes they step up and go a little bit man for man, and then sometimes they sit in a lower block, and we have to be calm on the ball, and we have to do a lot of movements up front to be able to open them.
Just final one for me, obviously 4 points out of 6 so far this week. You end on a positive, winning this coming Saturday. Would that really feel like you've got maybe that momentum, and we know the reasons why that you had, that sort of drifted away a little bit before the international break? Would it feel that top of haul this week, you've got that back for what is obviously a crucial part of the season? Yeah,
it would be a good step into the Christmas period of the season with a win on Saturday. I think then it's fair to say that we are back again, and everyone can see that. But I'm just pleased with the players being available for us again. I'm pleased with the top moments we have in the games, because it gives me also some kind of trust in the group. I can see, okay, if we get things right in there with the players and the positioning, then we can really hurt the teams that we play against and really create a lot of chances. I just highlighted for the players that we create close to 2 expected goals within the first 15 minutes Tuesday night, that's also some kind of a statement. That's every team when they come to Carrow Road, they know, okay, the first 15 minutes out there's going to be really difficult, because we come out so strong and so intense. So of course Saturday, if we win that one, then I think it's fair to say that we are back. Thank you.
Thanks, Paddy. Can I have the cameras off in the back, please, guys? Good stuff.